wrestling? Wrestling, football?
I don't have any of those, but you can if you want to.
All right, go. Cereal?
Are we good?
Yeah, I think
so. This is Ingrid from Unsigned Unleashed, and I'm here with Dan Campbell, aka Soupy, aka Spicy. So how are you doing today?
I'm good.
Good.
I started a career on Madden 13, which I'd never done before, and it's kind of cool.
Are you being successful so far?
Yeah, it was going well. I was playing my second preseason game against the Patriots. It was not going great, but not bad. Josh took over. He's handling the rest of it for me.
Alright.
It's kind of where it is, and I'm eating Special K.
Alright, so you guys are currently finishing off this tour, and then tomorrow is a Warped Tour. So, like, do you guys ever rest, or it's just strictly touring?
No rest. Even when we're not on tour, we're not resting.
Not sleeping well.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Oh, I was just saying you don't sleep.
Oh, I sleep really well.
Okay.
No, I sleep like a baby every night. But even when we're not on tour, there's a lot of work to be done. We've pretty much been on tour since we did the 4 shows in 24 hours, and we're going to continue to be on tour until at least August 4th or 5th. When does Warped Tour end, Curb?
5th. Yeah, 5th in Houston.
Yeah.
Who are you guys most excited to see?
I'm excited to see Defeater, Alison Weiss, Let Live, Motion City Soundtrack, The Chariot, mixtapes, a lot of bands.
So what's like your key ingredients that you guys bring on tour? Like every tour, you gotta have that with you.
Cell phone.
Instagram,
Is that a bad answer?
Stuff? No.
I think that's kind of like, because like, there's nothing really I bring on every tour except for my cell phone. Well, also I'm sure with clothes, but
pretty important. Clothes,
given.
Soap sometimes.
Sometimes soap, but not when you go internationally, because then you gotta buy it there, because then you otherwise you have it in a little tiny shitty thing.
That's true. It only takes so much.
And they made me throw it out last time anyway, because it wasn't in the right Ziploc bag.
They do that. They're assholes.
They're serious fucking
I don't want you to have
You guys fly a lot?
Yeah.
I've flown a couple times.
It's the worst thing. It's the worst part of my day every time we have to do it. It's really seriously oppressive. Stop oppressing me.
So we mentioned the 4 shows in 24 hours.
Yes.
Oh, that's hard to say. What was kind of the idea for throwing that one around?
I mean, the idea was to play 4 shows in 24 hours, but
well, like,
the
why
purpose,
4 shows? Yeah.
Why 4? Well, 1, because All Time Low did 3, and we told them we could do 4. When we saw they had a poster up for doing 3 shows in 24 hours, I'm like, well, we could do 4. Turns out we couldn't, because we had a flight delay and we didn't quite make it.
I heard about that, yeah.
And then I got kind of obsessed with the idea, and so did Josh. And we spent a lot of time just trying to figure out how to manipulate the schedule and the time zones to our to use towards our advantage and make it all happen. And also just because we really believe in the record, and we wanted to make sure that the promotion around it showed that, and showed the dedication and devotion we had towards the songs. And we thought that was a good way to show that.
So was it tough doing that?
It was really tough. At one point I woke up on the flight to Chicago and was just like, that's cereal in my teeth. I was like, oh good, it was all a dream. Wait a minute, I'm in the air. God damn it, it wasn't a dream. Like, I'm right in the middle of this. But somehow my voice lasted through all 4 shows. I think we played all 4 of them really well. And aside from the 1 flight delay, it kind of went pretty smoothly. Not too much to complain about.
Did you guys like live off of energy drinks or anything to keep you going?
No, actually. Like, you get to the point where you're so tired that like putting something in your stomach feels like you would immediately throw up, kind of thing.
Okay.
And it's not like we were sleeping like anything aside from erratically. I would describe our sleeping pattern as erratic. As we did the first show, we drove to the second one, didn't sleep, got in, played the second show, got out at like 2 in the morning. I think I caught like an hour of sleep in the van on the way to the airport. And then didn't sleep, slept on the flight, woke up, played the show, didn't sleep before or after, got to the airport, flight was delayed, slept on the floor of the airport. It was, I didn't really want to eat anything. At one point I woke up and was like, I guess I'll get a personal pizza, and I was like trying to like force it down. It was not good.
So I know over the years you guys have done a couple of splits with people. What do you think is like the pros and cons of working with other people on a record?
The pros of a split, well, there's many. One, it's kind of just fun. You get to do something with your friends. that was kind of the point of the stay ahead of the weather split, for instance. 2, sometimes they're for like a specific purpose. So we did one with Falling from the Sky, where we each covered a different band, and it was part of a series called Under the Influence. Also, when you're a younger band, it's cool because when you do a split with another band, you kind of are forcing their fan base to listen to you, and vice versa. There's not a whole lot of cons of doing a split, except for the fact that they're like pretty. I mean, anytime you're gonna press a 7-inch is kind of expensive, and then when there's only 2 songs on it, sometimes people are like, well, it's a lot to pay for 2 songs. If I only like one of the bands, I'm really only paying for 1 song, and so they're not super cost effective. Like, you can break even on them, but you really can't make any money doing a split.
Okay.
Which is, so it's kind of hard to talk labels into them sometimes, because it's like, well, here's a at best break even potential idea, but more likely a money losing endeavor.
So, like, out of all the splits that have ever been done in the universe, what is your favorite one?
My favorite split that's ever been done by anyone ever. Okay. The Get Up Kids Coalesce split.
Okay.
Where they each covered each other, and you ever hear that?
I haven't heard that one. Sounds rad.
Yeah, the Get Up Kids song, they do like the...
Yeah.
Coalesce did it, but did it like a mathy version of the clap part. It was cool.
That's awesome.
Since you guys have been around for so long, I was going to ask you guys, what do you think is kind of like the key ingredients to classifying yourself as a pop punk band?
Burritos, pizza.
Yeah. A bunch of shitty cliches. I don't know, you get classified the way people classify you.
Just let other people judge you.
You kind of run with it if it seems to be working, or if you hate it, you, I guess, rebel against it, but that never really works.
No, everyone thinks
you ever hear a band go like, we're not a fucking this band, and then everyone's like, alright, well, now you're just an asshole. Yeah, I don't know, you just, if you want to write pop punk, you probably write pop punk. There are defining characteristics of every genre. I think that's the thing that people will be like, it's just a pop punk record, a lot of times in regards to, you know, maybe our records or a lot of our friends, and it's like, well, there are certain defining characteristics that make each genre that genre. Like, otherwise it wouldn't be that genre. Like, there's a certain set of rules that make the blues, and make, you know, country, and make, you know, hardcore, and make pop punk. So when you're writing outside of those rules, you're no longer writing inside of the genre. So I think there's kind of that understanding that needs to go into it as well.
So last month, you guys released your latest album, The Greatest Generation. I was going to ask, what was the meaning behind that name?
Let's just skip that question. Because I've answered it about 150 times, and we're just going to waste your tape. If you want to know, it's on like Absolute Punk or All Press or anything.
Okay.
Let's use the limited Sony CyberShot camera memory space for more pertinent issues.
Alright. So do you feel like we're the best generation?
No, I was asked that recently too. I think that kind of defeats the point, but not in something that you would be able to see, because it's in a German magazine.
Okay.
Well, you could see it, but you'd have to read German and be able to find it. I think that the point of it isn't that we're the best generation or another generation is the greatest generation. The point is that every generation should be striving to be the greatest generation. It's about the ideal, not about the accomplishment.
And I also have some fan questions for you.
Sure.
So the first one is from @EmmaJansen, and she says,
Hi, Emma.
love the album trailer. Do they feel like that it's the kind of tool that can help set them apart in today's digital landscape, or is that just something they want to do?
You know, I wanted to make the album, you know, it definitely adds gravity to the album. We talked about doing that. One of the big, it's funny because I was just playing it. One of the big influences on that is if you play Madden 13, there's this like impassioned Ray Lewis like trailer before the game. You're like, yeah, I don't even like Ray Lewis, but at the end of it I was like, shit, I want to play football. So we wanted to do something that at the end of 2.5 minutes you went like, shit, I want to listen to that record, and I want to make music too. You know, we knew how important the record was to us. We wanted to get that point across to people in the most concise and effective way, and the album trailer was that. Brendan Walter, who used to play the guitar in a band called Valencia, put it together for us. He works for Crush Management now, and he's super talented. And Mitch Wojcik, who we bring on tour a lot, and everyone kind of associates Mitch with our band a lot of the time. He did our book years ago, so he shot all the photos for it and edited it together. Mitch did all of the footage, all the shooting of the footage for that, except for, I think there's a couple live scenes that Kyle Thrash shot.
Alright, next question. At Pierce the Vix, what's the best advice you can give a guy or girl that wants to start making it into the music industry?
I guess you're not going to be able to clarify the question for me because you didn't ask it, but do you mean like you want to work in the music industry or you want to be in a band? So
I'm assuming like band.
You want to be in a band?
Probably.
Okay. I think the first thing is that you need to understand that no one's going to do anything for you because no one owes you anything. And there's that like kind of common misconception for young bands who are like, well, that band went on tour, why can't I go on tour? Why don't I get to go on tour? So I think a big thing when you're starting out, and what we did is that you got to kind of take control of your own destiny. So we would I would call every single VFW hall, church basement, Legion Hall, YMCA, Boys and Girls Club, anything like that. Any big open place, libraries with basements, and I would lie to them, just blatantly. Be like, hey, I want to do like a teen band jam night to like keep kids off drugs or whatever, and get them to let me use these buildings for punk rock shows. And then I would hit up bands from other areas, so like we're from Philadelphia, so close enough to us is New Jersey, New York, Pittsburgh, Connecticut, Maryland, etc., Long Island. So we could say, hey, band from Long Island, come play this show I booked and I'll pay you $100, and then next month I want to come play your show and you pay me $100.
Cool.
And because you're not worth $100. No one gives a shit who you are. Like no one cares. You don't have any following yet. So you gotta kind of do someone a favor by running this show for their bands, and they'll run one for you. And then when you get up there, you make the most out of that. You try to put on a great show. You try to shake hands, meet people, make friends. And so now maybe you've done shows for people in. It would be great if I had a map of the U.S. to show everybody right now. Let's say you're from Philadelphia. You did shows for people in New Jersey, Long Island, Connecticut, Pittsburgh, Maryland, right? So now you can route like a week-long tour where you start with Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, and then go down the East Coast and play like 5 places you've never played before. And then on the way back up, you can play like, Maryland, then go out to Pittsburgh. And so you kind of capped it with shows that will be good because you played there before, and then set in the middle all these shows that are going to probably suck because you've never played there before, but try to make friends with those people and make fans there. And that way you don't lose your ass doing a week-long tour. And then once you've established a fan base in this entire region, then you can start branching out further and further. But a lot of it comes down to wanting to put the work in.
Solid answer. So at Angeline X, what is it like to know that your music has helped fans?
There's a positive thing. Sometimes it gets a little heavy for me because sometimes it's like this, these people will write letters or tell me stories, and they've had far worse experiences than I have, and I almost feel like a what's the word I'm looking for?
Poser?
Yeah, like a poser.
Poser.
I kind of feel like a sadness poser. Like, shit, your life has been hard. But it's at the same time, it's great that the lyrics we wrote were able to help them. It can't really be a negative thing if you're helping people, right?
Yeah.
It's like terrible people. If you helped Hitler once, that would be bad.
I guess if you're helping bad people, it might be a great thing. If you're helping people accomplish negative goals, I guess, probably not great, but...
Alright, so at Almond Going Nuts wants to know, what's the story behind the song We Could Die Like This off the new album?
I'm eating almond milk right now. We Could Die Like This is, I wanted to almost give a setting to the record. I wanted to create this feeling of living in the Philadelphia suburbs, which is kind of a blue-collar area. And I wanted to get that across without actually saying it, and I just kind of wanted to give you these hints, just, little things like the scent of this, the thought of this, the memory of this, that are all going to create this image of what it's like to grow up in one particular area. So, like I said, it's kind of hard to really describe. You can't just say, like, this is what it's like to grow up in Philadelphia, but you can say, or you can kind of discuss the feeling of, so Jerome Brown was my favorite player on the Eagles when I was a kid, and which is our football team, and he passed away in a car accident before the 1992 season, and the way that the entire city responded, and then you kind of look at your fathers and your uncles and your grandfathers and see how, heartbroken everyone is, that kind of gives more of a feeling of what it's like to live in Philly than if I said, like, well, we have, if you go down to Market Street, there's Barnes & Noble that closed down, so, it's kind of, I don't know, it speaks more pertinently towards it by giving more of a setting to the record.
Alright, so the last question is from @Equidem. What is the most inspirational thing a fan has said about your music or stage presence?
So we had a fan once that worked at a post office, and one of the guys from the band Lit used to come in there, and we had covered a Lit song for that Phone from the Sky Split. So he gave him a copy of that, and I guess he gave him a copy of the Upsides, and the guitar player from Lit came back in the next week and was like, that band sounds like the Get Up Kids if the Get Up Kids listen to more Face to Face. I was like, that's really fucking nice. I have no idea if that actually happened. Like, the fan sent this to me in a message. I don't know if the guy from Lit said that, but made me feel really good about myself.
So last question, what is next for you guys?
The Warped Tour.
2 months worth? That's like...
Yeah, that's a while next.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I can really think of right now. The Warped Tour.
Okay. Well, thanks for the interview.
You're very welcome. Nice talking to you.
Enjoy your cereal.
Yeah, it almost